A Black student is an athlete engaged in competition, called the N-word by other students. There's gestures of animal-like monkey noises against the student. The mother wants some level of accountability, naturally. This is bullying. This is racism. Let's put it up for a mass. Let me take you to Roseville, California. Omarion Overby of Inderkum High School was subject to racial abuse by students during a wrestling match. And him and his mother are demanding accountability. The incident occurred during a wrestling match at the high school earlier this month. A video shared on social media depicted two students using what appeared to be racial or racist slurs and offensive body language during his match, okay? Omarion Overby, 16 years of age, an honor student, did not hear the slurs while he was on the mat. Instead, the 6'2" and 285-pound wrestler was focused on trying to win in an intense match that went into triple overtime. If you heard anything, it was his schoolmates and supporters chanting his name from the side. Unfortunately, he lost. And seeing the video the next day made the loss even more bitter. They sent the video to me and I watched it, he says, and I was just shocked. And after that, I sent it to my mother. They used the N-word and they made monkey gestures, end quote. After seeing the crew behavior, the teen was deeply distressed and is now relying on the support and advocacy of his mother to get answers and some measure of justice. Quote, he immediately gets upset, he's hurt, he's confused. He is 16, it's 2024, the mom said. I was just shocked and I was disgusted at the thought that happened, at the thought that happened to me, Omarion said. ABC 10 reported. If I heard those words in the match, he continued, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have broke out in a rage. To be honest, hearing those disgusting words. The hosting school, let's put it up, is Roseville High, has released a statement regarding its stance on racism and discrimination in light of the incident and the mother's media alert. Quote, our student body and staff includes community members from all backgrounds, races, and religions, which is one of the many aspects that make our campus exceptional, a spokesperson for the school wrote. They also noted that they were investigating the incident and offered an apology from the administration. Quote, we wish to express a sincere apology for any and all offensive comments. Our commitment is to educate ourselves, our students, and the community, emphasizing that racism has no place at our school, in our homes, at our workplace, anywhere else, the school stated. Simply put, we must do better, and we will. Mercedes and other relatives are asking for a third-party investigation. They also request that the two Roseville students in the video be expelled and the investigation results be made public. Lastly, the family wants school officials to implement anti-racism education and training on campuses throughout the district and enact a zero-tolerance policy on racism. It is unclear if the family has secured a lawyer to help with their interests and demands. Put up the leaders, so-called. Roseville Principal Ashley Sharon and the Superintendent John Becker. Let's keep them up. To Principal Ashley Sharon, because of the local independence of the school, you have leadership authority on campus. This should be contextualized as a bullying incident. Bullying incident. To toss it aside as if that's not what it is playing the game they would like you to play. To the Superintendent John Becker, typically a jurisdiction, a school district has money tied to the federal government. Some of that money comes in the form of anti-bullying money. If this incident is categorized as a bullying incident, you have a responsibility beyond the incident being racial because of the federal dollars that may be associated. All right, now, outside of those two, a great trick was played in reference to this bullying thing. Remember when the big national campaign, anti-bullying? You had so many people involved, celebrities were doing commercials. You had memes, you had hashtags. Well, there was an intentional design to not include racism in that model. How? How do you dismiss these discriminatory practices that are in fact simply another methodology for bullying? How? And why would you do that? Because they understand the culture that they're dealing with. And instead of fighting that culture in order to make sure that all students are able to progress in an academic environment, learn socially, learn educationally, instead of doing the hard work, they decided, well, let's just keep that on this side and let's keep bullying on this side. Make it easy for us. It's very sad. I do hope that they are able to obtain at least some level of justice here. Somebody has to be held accountable. I mean, suspension is the absolute least thing. Some people will be talking about expelling permanently for something like this in the school. Sharon, it's amazing to me that literally they have to say what we assume would have already happened. They have to say that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it is a shame because other than the mother and her son, family, I think that the superintendent and the principal should have been seeking out every camera, distraught, bringing in counselors as if someone had passed away and said, my God. And by the way, I'm sick of these statements and say, we have a lot of people on our campus, racist, different backgrounds, blah, 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 blah. Right. Unless you want to do the next part, which is, and yet we still have this kind of filth and people throwing out the N-word around here. My goodness. They never do that because they don't care, Doc. You taught us about what was in that anti-bullying thing a long time ago because they don't really care about us and they can get away with it.
Yeah, so that's why sometimes you just got to lawyer up when a school system decides to engage in this kind of misconduct.